It's a chilly day here in the UK, but all praises to the Most High because it's a beautiful day regardless. I want to talk about they know not what they do. Um, People do know what they do, but I think what it refers to is you don't recognize what you're doing to your soul, so you know not what you're doing to yourself. Um, which is why forgiveness is important, because when you forgive somebody, you realize that it's their problem, not yours. Um, and that allows you the freedom to get on with your life and realize that you are powerful within yourself and you don't have to conform to other people's opinions or ideas or control or manipulation. Um, you know, spiritual narcissism has, I mean, I've never been so aware of it so much, because it's been on such a big scale, because, you know, a certain person has involved so many people looking for something that's in me, in somebody else. That is, there's a lot of mental illness around, and it's going to come out and show like that now, because what you've not done is take care of your inner child. You haven't looked after your inner child. You haven't looked into yourself enough to make yourself happy. You keep using other people and abusing other people spiritually, mentally, physically to make yourselves feel better. Um, you know, money is the root of all evil if you don't know how to look after it. Anything can be the root of all evil if you don't know how to look after it. But the love for money, the lust for money, the greed for money, the greed for um, physical relationships with people, the lust for wanting what you want when you want it. There's a big difference between believing in God and thinking you are God. When you think you are God, that's a real ego problem. So you will see people around that are still hiding. They may be angry one minute, they may be depressed the next, they may be feeling sorry for themselves, whether it be online or in your community. They may be trying to apologise. But when you leave it till the very end, till you're caught out, it's not really an apology, is it? It's I'm only saying it because I've been caught out. So that's why an apology is not necessary, because the chosen already know what has gone on. Um, to stand in my power and to do my work for God through my prophecies and through my insights and epiphanies is a wonderful thing. And you've helped me stand in my power. You've helped me gain that confidence, just to be out here regardless. And maybe I wouldn't have done that before. So, I am grateful for that, and we can all help each other out in those ways. But you have to realize that they know not what they do refers to your soul. You don't realize what you're doing to your soul. If you have no soul, you will fade away, you will disappear. It will, however it works out. God has a way of making things happen to ourselves. So there will be more people with mental health problems because they're not taking accountability for their actions and their feelings. Some people refuse to understand feelings. They will get swayed by others because they have no confidence in themselves. But to give yourself a false confidence just makes you think you are God instead of believing in God. So, that's a lie. Um, it's Your soul is so important, and yet so many people give it away for money, for sex with people, for manipulation with people's emotions, for material possessions, for money, greed and lust cover so many different things. The time for manipulation and control, it's over in the world, which is such a wonderful thing to think about because it's not just in my circle, it goes all the way up to the top. And I appreciate people from the top have been involved in this, which is even more sadder. But it's a blessing because the world is being cleansed. The world is being cleansed of the nastiness, and there will be a time where it still has to play out, but there's no hidden truths now. And regardless of all the hidden truths, the wonders of tarot is it speaks of your subconscious energy. It shows subconscious energy. You can do it through playing cards. You can feel it many different ways. It doesn't have to be through tarot, but tarot's been given a really bad name because of the way people misuse it and use it to their advantage instead of revealing what it's actually saying. So, some people will disappear off the scene, some people will blame somebody else, some people will put that, oh, woe is me out. You will notice it, you will see it everywhere. People will probably still do it because they don't know what else to do. But it's not a personal thing now. It's chosen. Don't take it personally because we realise that it is your internal problem, not ours, and we are more than happy to be proud of where we stand. Be proud working for God because that's where our messages come from, and to stand in our truth. And it's time that it's all coming out. The truths are coming out and justice is coming to fruition. All the hidden deceitfulness will not, it won't be, you won't be able to get away with it anymore. And it may take a while because humanity has to go through that. But it's our job as chosen is not just to raise the vibration of others, but to also bring out the lies and deception in those that are trying to run other people's lives with no concern, no consideration, and the lengths people will go to, I have found astonishing. But I guess when you have no soul, you sold your soul to other things, other entities that are not giving you any benefit whatsoever, then that's the way of life and that's how we learn. So you can't just sit here and wish that it didn't happen or wish that people weren't like that. Everything's got a polarity, and it's not even about, the universe will give its justice, but it also gives you so many chances to repent, so many chances to put things right, so many chances. Every moment, every thought, every minute of the day, we have chances to correct things, to put things right. So time is up on that one. the results will be what they will be. But as for confidence, there's a big difference, you see, because the confidence that spiritual narcissists have, hiding away and doing deceitful stuff, being energy vampires to people, and do you think it's going to make a difference if you're all in a big group doing that? I mean, you're all absorbing everybody's nastiness and giving all your energy away to all those other people that, you know, we're one human being. Your energy is for you, your soul is for you, your mental health is for you. When you allow other people in to run your lives, to disrupt your flow, to abuse you in any which way, and it seems abuse in every single way has been committed at this time. So, you know, you've got to realise it will come back. To fool yourself into thinking you can get away with it, I mean, that is one power trip. And the people that have had those kind of power trips will be getting the severest justice, because you haven't healed, and you can't pretend you have. No one is perfect, and as you know, for myself, I am aware that this whole thing has been around me just to keep on and to keep picking and to, what is it, death of a thousand cuts and things like that. You know, we'll just keep picking at you, we'll get you down. Well, once you know, you actually rise from it, because every little dig, every little nasty action, whether you're being filmed in your home or whether you're being stalked in the street or whether you're being sold on the dark web, for stuff that you gave no consent to, you know, that when justice arrives and you want to apologise, that's kind of, it's not really an apology because you've left it to the last minute. It just means, oh, I've been caught out, you know, so now I've got to do something. No, you should have done that before. Nobody is fooled. You know, anybody with any common sense isn't fooled by this kind of manipulation. So for people to continue this, I think will show us who seriously is mentally ill, because it will come out in that way. If you can't take accountability for your actions, maybe you shouldn't do them in the first place. And if you have, then all over the world right now, not just in my little area, and it's not just this area, is it? That's gone worldwide apparently. So, and the fact that I'm doing this now as well is worldwide. So it's like, you know exactly what you've done, you know exactly what you've been doing, you know exactly the results you wanted, but you really didn't think it through, because saying I believe in God and then considering yourself God over so many people, I mean, your religious views, is it something to do with religion? Is it something to do with Mormonism? Or is it something to do, I don't know, because I've not really been involved. The only group of religious people I know that can have a harem of umpteen wives is Mormon. Do Jehovah's do that as well? I don't know. But it doesn't mean to say that, you know, everybody in that group is, you know, thinking the same way. Maybe you've got yourself into a religion that doesn't help you. There is one creator, the source of all things that created everything, which is where I get my epiphanies, prophecies, insights from. And I stand on that, and that's where my truth comes. And not only has it saved my life by keeping me 10 steps ahead, it's also made me realise that that is my mission. I am here um, as a human lie detector, if you like, to help people, to show people the way. Um, Even people that are becoming spiritual find it hard. So, to waste your energy on people who are so adamant about being the opposite, I mean, it's just a waste of energy. When people, you can say things and you can talk to people, but if they really don't want to change, that's up to them. But it's because of fear. You're not changing because of fear, and you're not changing because you haven't looked into yourself enough. Um, you have a damaged inner child, no matter how you look at it. It's from parts of your past, of your life that didn't go well, and you're trying to put that on other things instead of facing up to what your problem is. And life becomes so complicated, and you end up doing such ridiculous things and probably perverted things as well, because you have no control over yourself. You have no control over your mental thoughts, because you're not working together with the rest of your body. Your head is not working with your heart. If you've closed your heart off and you're all logical, there's not going to be any love in it. If you've, you know, if your sacral chakra's not balanced, you're not going to be so creative. You're going to be more lustful in the, physical area of your life. That doesn't make it right. It just means that you're very unbalanced. Um, and thankfully, it's a time where the majority of the world is rising, and we're realizing that we have to fight this, because Mother Earth is worth saving. Mother Gaia is all around us, and we would be nothing without it. And we are part of nature. The minute you start thinking that cars and houses and materialistic stuff is better, you start losing yourself. And we will see people who have sold their souls fall. Whether it be, and justice will be served, whether it will be through the judicial system, or, oh, I can't wait to have teeth. End of the month, maybe. I got a lisp these days. It's so hard to speak. But regardless, it'll either come out in the justice system, or it will come out in mental health and feeling suicidal. All these thoughts, it's where you've got yourself, because you've not been honest with yourself. You think hiding things and lying to other people is the answer. Um, but actually, you're just lying to yourselves. And this is the truth of what's coming out now, and the truth of all the deception and the manipulation and the lies, because you're either sexually confused, mentally confused, or emotionally confused. I can understand people that have never felt the feeling of love before, but because unconditional love can be quite frightening, but only to people who have narcissistic tendencies, and life is about not having those. We can all have them, but when you get to the extent of being a spiritual narcissist and having your own harem and manipulating people and using people online to make money, and which I will point out that I have never given consent to, it's plus a lot of other people. I dare say you have people that have given consent, but there's an awful lot of people that haven't. And the universe knows, God knows, and God's putting it right. And I stand in my power, and I will continue to tell the truth. Um, and for those of us that are rising, just know that you are your confidence in your messages is real. You can be confident because the divine tells you, the divine warns you, the divine has warned all these other people so many times, but they chose not to listen. Um, but actually, it's the cleansing of Mother Gaia right now, and it's worldwide, obviously, and we're going to come into such a beautiful phase. But while we do that, there's others that are going to be struggling so bad because they refuse to repent, they refuse to take accountability, they refuse to be honest. And when you realise that you've all been doing that to yourselves, firstly, that's where they know not what they do comes into it, because you have fooled yourselves all this time, and the chosen are used as a vessel to bring truths out into the world. The nature, source, God, allows it to a certain extent to help you to realise, to make us grow in life. When you keep continuing to refuse to do that, then it'll come back and bite you on your ass every time. So don't be fearful of people around you or people trying to bring you down in any way, shape, or form. And I don't think we are now. Life is for living, and the majority of people are realizing that now. They're coming out of that materialistic, lower vibration, the thing is, when you see it the other side, it is comical. It's not that I laugh at people, but I laugh at the ridiculousness of thinking that it'll work. It's like people are trying to convince you black is blue, and they think they can be so convincing. Well, the truth is the truth. Black is black and blue is blue. That's how I see life, and that's the way it'll stay for me and my family. And my family, I might add, not anybody who thinks they're part of my family or put it on paper on forged documents. And your sexuality is such a poignant thing because that is such a big part of you. That's how you give all your energy away and how you pick up evil entities of other people. And that can come out in all sorts of forms. Depending, I think, if you look at your illnesses that are happening and the problems you are having, that's a very good clue to what you've been doing wrong. If you've been wishing somebody to just be broken-hearted, your heart's going to break. If you've been wishing death on somebody, you're likely to just give up the ghost and pass. You cannot wish these things on people because what you put out comes back to you. So to do such malicious, nasty things and or have those thoughts in the first place to create that environment around other people, to abuse people in every way possible, it's such nastiness, and Mother Gaia's had enough. The ancestor that has been talking to me is the same one that lost their life. There's a couple of people lost their lives, and there's some babies that have lost their lives. They never even got a chance. How do you justify that? It's to cover up your own insecurities. your own inner child that is damaged. There isn't any other way of looking at it. And we're all going to be judged for everything we've done now. And your false confidence, convincing yourself that it's okay to do these things. You know, some people will take that till their death and refuse to do it. But at some point, even on your last breath, there will be such regret, because you cannot keep it up forever. It is an impossibility. It will always come out. The truth always comes out. Tarot just helps that subconscious truth come out. And it's not just tarot cards. You can do it with playing cards. You can have people just know, you know, and so many people are rising to that occasion now to believe, and so that we can have a kinder, nicer, more beautiful world. That as sad as it is, the world has to be cleansed. So, you know, there are moments, every moment, every minute, every thought we have is an opportunity to make things better for ourselves. Make the world better. And it is new beginnings. But while the new beginnings are happening, you will see people very depressed and feeling sorry for themselves and anxious about the future, because they didn't manage to do it. And as much as you can have a certain amount of empathy, if you're an empath, you can't be too empathic, because if that's what the universe has decided, you know, then that is judgment. People do these things to themselves, and if they haven't learned to this point that being manipulative and controlling is not the answer, then they will suffer the consequences, regardless of what anybody hopes for. It's a self-help time. We all have to realise that we are all responsible for ourselves. We all have to take accountability for ourselves, and that life is worth living. So with that thought, I shall leave you, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.